Hello and welcome back to Space Engineers. My name is Rabenschild. My base is finished? Not finished. It is in a good state, let's say it that way. You can see I'm trying to establish some colors here just to, I don't know, I'm getting called out so much on the gray stuff. I will do more work with colors and with skins here maybe, but you can see I'm building up a nice, really small station just to have some amenities, some power, a few weapons, although at the moment they are not really needed. I have to clean up my save file here because I had in the last 2 days I had troubles loading up the world and I had to remove mods and all that stuff to get everything running again. It needs cleaning up so much. But I also started the way I want to bring in the ice to get all the hydrogen, and we will take a look at that in a second. Let me just go over what we have here. I've used for the first time one of these big antenna dishes here, and kind of like it. You can do stuff like this with it, and I'm relatively happy with it. Central spire with storage for oxygen, hydrogen, and a bit of storage for ice and other things. I've set up 2 of the big wind turbines to keep this thing powered, and yeah, have an interior now with just a few things: a bed, table, toilet, a kitchen, all that stuff. Nothing special right now. I'm still working on this because one thing I need to do is I need to bring all of these panels and windows to the outside so I have more space on the inside to build. Medical station, need to set that up, and you can see I'm out of hydrogen now, at least when it comes to all the storage that I have anyways. So the upstairs is closed right now, but we have a downstairs with some H2O2 or O2H2 producers or processors, generators, and some batteries. Nothing else much. The event is down here because that was a good way to just have it out of the way. Upstairs, I want to have an upstairs. Didn't build that yet. We will see what we can place up there. Maybe a control station or something like that. We will find something that we can do with it. This is basically just an outpost so that I can, don't know, be in there, eat, and have some sleep if I need that. The daily needs, what the daily needs wants from us. The truck is able to be connected up now. I had that connected up, but I want to make a test with the harvester that I have here, and I don't want to have all the ice immediately in this truck. So disconnected that. It needs all kind of nicening up. It needs to be made a bit nicer. Don't know. I'm trying to have it look relatively industrial, but let us go over to what we have here. You can see that I have a long-running conveyor line here, some wheels down here. They are set to have no friction. So they have just a bit of friction so that it stops at one point of wobbling, but it's just, don't know, 5 units of friction. And then we have a rover in the end, and you can see it is connected up to the base. Has no storage, but has some drills in the back. And what we can do with the rover is we can just drive it relatively normally. At the moment the drills are not active. You can see that once I'm starting to drive, the umbilical kind of moves out of the way and all that stuff. I hope it works well that way. I'm not sure. I haven't tested it out yet. So once there's weight and once there's more movement, maybe it goes haywire then. But one thing I want to do is I want to have it move relatively slow. More friction on the ice, that would be good, and we will go with 30 kilometers per hour just so that this thing doesn't yank on its chain too much. This is just a test for now, so if this works out fine, then I can maybe remove this part or this part, I'm not sure yet, and add more of these onto the whole thing. For now, again, I just want to see if this works out. It should work. The whole ice plane here, I don't know how to name it, has a sorter that immediately picks up all the ice and hopefully pumps it directly into the storage of the base station. I'm not sure how fast this will be full. We will test that out in a bit. We are trailing the drills basically behind so that I don't end up with the wheels falling into a pit once I start drilling and once I start gathering ice. We'll have to see how we set up the piston behind the whole thing. This can move up and down. It doesn't need, hopefully it doesn't need any other movement. Just a bit of downward so that it just shaves off the top layer of the ice. Maybe we can go a bit deeper, but we will set that. Maybe we can set it up where we need to group the drills. That should be all the drills. Drill G. That is the drill group, hopefully, and toggle block on and off so that we can just trail it behind. This should work. I'm not sure if it's a massively good idea. We will see. Oh, it already starts, so we maybe don't need to. We maybe don't need to go and set the piston up too crazy. If we want to dig deeper, then maybe we do that. Let me see how much ice we just brought in. That's not a lot, so it immediately got brought into the O2 H2 gen, so we will have to drive a bit to achieve that, or we will have to dig deeper. I could use overrides to just drive. That will be something that will be decided in the future, I would say. If I put out the drill for just, or the piston in the back for just teeny tiny bit. The thing is, I also don't want, if the back, the umbilical gets into the drilled out area, I don't want it to just vanish into holes, so that we can hopefully keep it intact and not have itself be ripped apart. Yeah, we will have to get down with a drills a bit. Might not end up drilling so much as we would like. Let us see how much ice we gathered. So we don't gather a lot of ice with this, so we will just go a bit deeper with the pistons so that we are not only digging but just a tiny bit. Let us just go a tiny bit down. We'll go with a maximum distance of just, let us go 20 or 30 centimeters. So the 40 centimeters. Let us go just to 50. And then we reverse it. So that the drills are just a tiny bit deeper into, closer to the ice, so that maybe the drilled out area is bigger. Yes! Now the question is, how does the umbilical react? I hope that it still gets out of there, that the wheels are able to compensate for the drop and being then dragged over whatever is there is now. We'll have to see if that works. And I hope the width is wide enough so that I can later drive the rover into it without. So now it drops. It didn't drop too much, so that's a good thing. The umbilicals basically have every 2 sets there is a way so the whole line can bend down if it needs. Just so that I can that it has a bit of flexibility in there. Nice. So that is immediately a number that is a lot nicer. If we go deeper, even deeper, then we would get even more. But for now, again, I don't need to go too crazy on this. I'm too fast. I need to go even slower, I would say. The whole thing is set up so that it can turn, swing around, go into the next line and work. I hope this works out. It should. This takes off just so little of the drills of the ice that it shouldn't go too crazy with it. So I don't know what you think of the idea. Maybe it is a good one. Again, if setting up a massive drill array that just drills into the ice, it is a lot more efficient. It is a lot faster. I think we need to add some more drills. We need to widen the area it drills so that the wheels definitely get so that I basically can get into the track so that it leaves behind. You can see that it just drills up the top layer, and I want to be able to really drive into this and don't change the angle too much of the drilling here. Maybe we need to add a drill more on each side so that it drills away this area here too, and we can drive back into the same track. We'll have to see when I need to turn. At the moment, it seems I still have a lot of way to go with the umbilical here, but I might have to be a bit careful so that I don't yank on it too much, and then I have the ability to just oh no, assemblers. Ugh. Yeah, okay, we need to hook up the truck for just a bit. Big problem that I have, and I hopefully the author of the script gets in contact with me. There is a bit of a problem with the script, the script that I use for the subgrids, and the other one that Whiplash did. So the author of the script I'm using is Tech, and the other subgrid script that I know of is the one from Whiplash. And both don't have a way to exempt wheels from being used for that. And that's something I would really like, or a way to set up the wheels that you want to use for it, because when the truck is connected and the programmable block on the bridge is turned on, it also controls these wheels. And I don't want it to do that. I just wanted to control the wheels on the truck. It's always then a process of disconnecting the truck or turning off the programmable block, changing the wheels on the plane there. It would be nicer if I could just say, okay, I don't want these wheels to be used. Do I still have ice? Still have ice, so it's not too bad. There is now a lot of ice somewhere in there. That's good. Fills up the tanks. Maybe I don't need so much ice for the first track. I don't know. Good. Okay, let us wait until these are fixed up. They are fixed up. I need to integrate them into the group, and I need to disconnect this again. It is 2 and back. You can see that I have cameras for multiple directions here, because I have one for down, one for the front, and I will have one for up. I haven't set that up yet. We'll do that once I really need it. Good. Let us do that again. Okay, add these two. Turn everything on. It's widened, that's a good thing. And now we can... I think I will bring it down even more, the speed of the wheels. Because right now, they're still relatively fast. I like it. I really like it. I have to say, don't know. It might be a bonkers and completely useless idea, because again, there's a lot of more efficient things that how this could work. But the idea of having it mobile, pumping it back into the base immediately, I kind of like that, because it makes sense, and not having to connect up the rover to the station every time it's full. I don't know, makes sense to me. I don't know how you see that. Give me opinions on it, and if you think this could be done a lot better or something like that. I'm pretty sure there's bots out there for it that could do that. We sadly don't have flexible things. We don't have flexible hoses or something like that. That would be something I would really like, being able to just drag a line behind me, maybe a flexible one. That would be cool. We can't. It's not in the game, sadly. And so we have to use this method, maybe. Set it up, do the next line. And this way we can dig out a relatively big area of land. Can stay on track, just digging out what we need, not having to go too crazy with a drill station that, don't know, digs down 40 meters. One thing I need to test is how thick is the ice. I will do that at one point. Maybe make a test drill somewhere here, close to the base. Just go down and see how much ice is there. Because maybe this is a good idea also because it's just a small layer of ice on top of the whole area here. Good, let me do this for a bit, fill up the base, and then I will come back to you. So we have ice now in the O2 generators. I've added some more O2 generators to make the whole thing a bit faster, because it is relatively slow when it comes to processing the stuff. I had a good amount of stored ice. I didn't change much, brought down the speed a bit more, brought down the piston just a bit more. Don't want to shave off. That's what I wanted to say. Shave off too much of the ice here. I have to admit it's a relatively slow process. So if we could speed that up, yeah, that would be nice. Maybe we will make this as a test bed for more ways of dealing with it. The thing is that I want to see now how thick this ice sheet is. If it is really, really thick, then I don't know, we can set up other methods that are maybe a bit harsher to do the whole thing than this method. If it's really thin, then it doesn't really make sense to drill through a thin sheet of ice and then just get into the rock. So then we will have to see what we set up, because then having a monster borehole doesn't make any sense. There is, again, I had other ideas, but we will see how that works out in the end. Okay, we will let this drill do its job now. Set this up really slow. This extent here is just 10 meters, so shouldn't be too crazy. Again, if we reach 10 meters and then there's already stone, then I think it doesn't make sense to go too crazy with the drilling method. Because again, I don't want to shave. Don't want to mine stone here. That's not good for me. I just want to. Maybe I can speed it up a bit. Just a teeny tiny bit. Is it moving now? Visibly? It is still very slow. I'm trying to find a good way where this thing doesn't shake itself apart while drilling this hole here. On the other hand, maybe I'm being too careful. 8. Okay, then I think we can go to no 0. Hopefully. Am I drilling or am I not drilling? I'm at... Yeah, should take a better look at this. That stuff. Thought I pressed the reverse button. Okay, maybe I can bring it down a bit. I don't want to have damage on the whole thing here. See, that's ridiculously thin. There's really no ice here. Okay, we having a monster borehole is unnecessary. What we need is another thing that just over the course of time just shaves off the top layer of the whole thing here. Maybe we can even go a bit deeper with this thing. Just have it... I should have taken a look at it. But this just drills, don't know, a few centimeters off. Maybe if we just go a bit deeper and do another round of it. Just go for... We add 30 centimeters more. I will turn this around, do another round of drilling, and then we will see if there's other ways we can deal with that. We could, don't know, we could use a drill and fill system and just gather the whole top layer, but I'm not sure. If I want to try other things too. I have played a few more hours and did some more work. Did some more harvesting with this thing. I'm not so sure about it. I like the idea. It keeps the rover theme going, but it is... The big problem with it is that it is really hands-on, and you have to be really slow to keep this thing going, even with the drills not completely sinking into the ground. I'm not too sure about this anymore. I started another try. I will try the way where you use basically a track that something runs along, and I'm not sure how to automate that right now. This will have to be something I need to take a look at, because I really just don't know how this works. But I will use advanced rotors that I set up on... yeah, I basically turn them around. The rotor head will be here, and then the rotor will be on top. Not sure yet how to do that. Will hopefully work out in the end. the thing with this is that I have the feeling that I can add more drills to it, and then hopefully I can get a bit more automation to it, where I can just leave that thing going. That's something I can't do with this. Can't be fast with it, and I could gather more ice with it if I bring these down even more and maybe sink them into the ground. Big problem is that then I can't drive. I at the moment I'm driving this thing with 5 kilometers per hour, and that could be too fast. So I would have to bring that down even more, and then working with this thing would be really crazy. Maybe somebody of you have ideas for this, how I can make it nicer or something like that. But the next thing I will try is again this track thing. I want to start here. Again, we'll set that up over the next hours and days, I'm not sure, and then we will take a look at that in the next episode, I would say. So here you can see I finished a bit more of the base structure. I've made a landing pad here. I wanted to incorporate one just if I ever land here with a ship. Could happen too. So made this on the side. Also played around a bit with the new frost skin basically, and gave some of the things. Would be nice if you could just sprinkle that on. That would be nice if you wouldn't have these clear cuts in them where it is. It's a lot of work, but I'm trying to get through this here relatively fast, just because I don't want to be here for too long anymore. I want to take the truck to the base, back to the base, and then leave Mars maybe behind and do something else in the world. Although again, I'm having fun here, but it is time to go somewhere else soon. Good. People, let me know if you have ideas for this version. If you know anything about these tracks where pistons move something along a track, let me know. Would be interesting to hear. And otherwise, I think that's all for today, I would say. Hope you liked this episode. If you did, please leave a like on the video. Hope to see you in the next one. See ya, guys.